Okay, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Great. I had to log back in, log out. Kind of flaky stuff happening. Okay, interesting day setting up, guys. Yesterday, was that just a one-time bounce, or did we get better? NVIDIA was all the way up to 808, right to my 809, and then right back down. Then we see. Things to understand today. This cadence divide, something, I can't tell you what's wrong here, but something's really crazy wacky, okay? So let's discuss it here. So we have ASML come out. So before ASML, Intel says they're making all these new designs. They have a ton of chips, okay? New coming, AI chips, accelerators, all this stuff. Google says they're partnering with Intel. Huge new chips. AMD says they're building tons of new chips. Everybody says they can't get capacity. There's not enough capacity out there. NVIDIA says they need more capacity. Amazon says they're building chips. Tesla says they're building AI chips. Microsoft says they're building AI chips. And then the orders at ASML are low. And it takes you 6 months to get a machine. So if you're designing the chip, you can't even start to build it for 6 months. If you even succeed in building it, which I believe you can't even design it. They're so far behind. You just think you're just going to go in there and say, oh, I need to make a TV. Just go create all the circuit boards and all that stuff. You can't do that in a month. It doesn't work that way. Okay? So what's going on? Why are the orders less? Because now you go to Cadence last night, and they make the software for you to design the chips. So you use their software to design the chips. Now, these things are complex. There are 100,000 transistors and stuff on them. Do you think they just draw it up by hand? No, you need the software. But how are their orders lower? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now you have Synopsys too. They're the other ones that do the same thing. So you just have to understand that. Okay? So that's out there. So it's really surprising that all the semis are up this morning considering, I mean, look at ARM. ARM designs chips. Well, if you're not buying the software to design the chips, how are you designing the chips? Okay? That's why we bought some puts, just for the hell of it. We bought some SPX puts because if NVIDIA breaks back lower, then you have the same scenario opening up going lower. And then does that reverse the SPX? Maybe, don't know. Okay? So you just have to be aware. If you're aware, then you're okay. So we're sitting on some NVIDIAs. Nice. We're sitting on Avago, up and down, both sides. Now, trading. For you to become a good trader, you have to get rid of your biases. People are like, I've owned Tesla for 20 years. It's great. I made a lot of money. Who cares? Nobody cares. Only care what's happening now. Okay? So just understand that. It only matters what's happening now. Okay? Then we see. Okay? So you got to see what's playing out. SMCI. Now, this is very interesting because ChatGPT and people sending me articles that this is a rule. I don't know if it's a rule. I just don't understand. To me, I believe the rule was you can pre-announce if there's a material impact. Even in quiet period, if you're in a quiet period and you know something happened, earthquake hit or something happened, and you're going to miss like crazy, you have to pre-announce. If it's material impact. Now, this thing says if you do a secondary, SMCI did a secondary, you're not allowed to say anything for 40 days. Why 40 days? Appears random to me. Why not 30 days or 60 days? 40 days seems random. Okay? Now people are telling me yesterday, asked me, how come all the hedge funds don't know this? Because why would you know this? How many people pre-announce? If 5 companies pre-announce a quarter out of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, whatever it is, why would you know? How many of them do a secondary? Probably none. Nobody's done a secondary that needed to pre-announce, so nobody would know this rule. So that makes sense. So very interesting. So are they wrong on SMCI? And they beat and they guide higher? And this sucker goes to 1,300 on an insane squeeze? Even bigger than the last time? Possible. Then we see. But techs are up. Microsoft is up. SMCI is up 7. Not a ton. It's up. Meta's up 7. Meta, I don't understand why Meta isn't 530, 540. They introduced this Llama. Huge. Partnership with Google. Huge. And then TikTok's banned. I mean, why is it not 550? So you got to watch the action, okay? So Cadence News says on lower. Now, the other side of it, and this is the only way you become great. You look at 2 sides of everything, it doesn't matter. Now, we tell you Tesla is going to be awful. Tesla's going to absolutely stop. But doesn't mean the stock doesn't go up. What if Elon comes out here and says, let me tell you the one thing he can say. He could say something like, if the stock goes to 130, I'm going to go 100% margin and buy all I can. What if he says that? Stock says 200, maybe 250 on the squeeze. What if he says, I'm going margin and buying all the Tesla stock? Now, there's an article out there, very interesting, guys. This is what Henry Ford did. Henry Ford did this way back in 1920-ish, something like that. I don't know, 25, whatever. He said he was going to resign, and he left the company. The stock cratered. And then his family bought all the stock at a discount. What if Elon lets the stock crater to 100, and then he buys all the stock with his leverage? Goes 100% margin. Buys all the stock. Very interesting, right? Just a scenario. Nobody says it's real. You just have to be aware. And then we see. Now, the other side of Cadence is it's way down. They guide down. It's way down. What if it closes positive? If it closes positive, I'm ridiculously bullish if that closes positive. Now, the other side of that is Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud report on Thursday. If their cloud is good and they say they're going to spend more money and AI is spending a ton of money, then Snow is back in play. All the clouds are in play. NVIDIA pops to what, 880? Very possible. Okay, so both sides. You got to understand both sides. And then we see. So SPX is up 12. If it takes out 50, 52, I'd be more bullish. If it goes under 49.98 today, would be more bearish. And then we see. But we got NVIDIA, and NVIDIA, if it pops 25, boom, it's back. Okay? So kind of chill. Okay, so that's what we know. SPX up 13. That puts it at 50.23. You got 50.52. 50.41, 50.52. Avago. 12.51, 12.52, 1,300, 13.31. Underneath, 11.91. NVIDIA. 8.08, 8.22, 8.31, 8.43. Underneath, this one's very simple. Okay? 791, 762. Lam Research. Earnings Wednesday or Thursday, one of them. 909, 952, underneath 831. ASML, it's in the 4 to 6 week avoid. So just wait. Okay? PanW can't get over 300. Do they say customers are no longer fatigued? Interesting. Keep an eye on that. Lilly can't get over 794. Netflix, 532. Netflix, 4 to 6 week avoid. TSM, 131, 136. 142 to be hunky-dory. Under 126 to be bad. ARM, 98, 106. Underneath 88 to be bad. Goldman Sachs, 422. Underneath 409. Coin, 231. 255, 266 beast. Underneath 191. Meta, 509, 522. SMCI, 762. Big number. Any pop through 762 can be 100 points. NOW earnings coming. 752, 791. Beast. Microsoft in no man's land, 409, 391. Tesla. Our Teslas are a double. They were a triple. Okay? Tesla will probably sell these, take at a double or a little bit more, and roll. That's what you do. You take profits. You play with profits. You don't take a shot on a double because the double may be a triple or 5x, but it may also go to zero. You don't do that. People that do that, they whine and cry. So don't let that be you. Think about it. Yesterday morning, you had a triple to start the week on Tesla. One position and there was a triple. Pretty good, right? Unless you didn't do anything. And then we see. That's what we know. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.